everyone, this is Denise, and I thought I would do a color palette challenge, but I'm not using my normal favorite color cubes today. I have some of these color flow books that Ivy Newport created, and she basically took photos and made her own color palettes and turned it into a little book, and this is volume 1, and I haven't used it enough, but I was painting for myself the other day, which I don't do very often because most of the time I figure I might as well record it if I'm doing it. But there was a whole bunch of housework going on. They were building a deck on the back of my condo because the deck back there was at the point where it needed to be replaced, and so there was all this bang bang banging going, and I was hiding in my studio, and I thought, okay, let me just go ahead and paint and think and see what ideas I might want to flesh out. And I had painted this color palette right here in one of my little artisanal journals that I made, and this is one where I glued the pages, and so it opens up, it lays flat, it has, I believe I used the Canson Heritage paper in this book, and I did a little 2-page spread that I love, and it was very interesting when I was painting this to see the difference in the front of the paper versus the back of the paper, and almost like the back of the paper texture even more than the front. And so I decided to kind of like make myself a little note list of what I did in this layout, and I used the Kuretake colors, black, shadow green, burnt sienna, potter's pink, and beige gray, and just kind of made myself some notes about what I did in this layout. And I think it's so beautiful, and I love it so much that I almost want to do another layout today with another color palette card. And so I'm kind of, debating, do I want to paint on the back of these pages, because obviously you can, and they don't bleed through to the front, and make this a, complete book as we're looking at it, where there's a painting on every page? Or do I want to skip a page and then, paint so these are blank on the back side and I could tear them out and that could be a finished piece of art? Definitely some things to think about as you're creating. I could also scan these in and make prints out of them and stuff like that. So just some stuff for you to think about as you are creating. And if you want to make your own book out of your favorite paper like this, you can check out the Artisanal Journals class, because I show you how easy these are to make. And then when you think, what do I do with my finished pieces of art? You don't have to even think about it. They're in a book. And then there, you can date it. This could be great for like a 30-day project or a 100-day project. And then when you're all done, you could have these really beautiful large plate paintings that you've done. So I think for today I'm going to skip a page because I haven't decided personally what I want to do. And that way there's at least the back of that's blank in case. But I think I'm going to come back to it. And I thought, why not do another color palette out of this book, and I'll film it this time. And my guide, my purpose with these is not to be exact, it's to have a direction and something leading me along, a color palette that I wouldn't normally use, and get me being more creative in my paintings and stuff. And so I have picked out of the Kuretake sets, and I've got 2 colors out of the Art Nouveau set and 3 colors out of the larger 48 set. I've pulled 506 Shadow Green. I have pulled 54 Olive Green, 46 Burnt Sienna, 12 Rose Beige, and then 601 Grayish Blue, and these are watercolors, so even though that's a little darker, I think, as we put it on, it'll be lighter. So that's my color palette that I'm working with today, and so I'm going to set these back out of the way. And also on my pieces that I did before, I did, some lovely stencil work and some mark making on the piece, which is kind of where I'm intending to go today. So yeah, just thought I would show you that, and then I'm going to tape these off. I want them to be finished individual painted plates, but it doesn't bother me a bit. I want to be different, but kind of like they go together. I like painting in multiples because Then if I don't like one, maybe I'll like the other. I also, you know, even though this is in a book, I also keep in mind that I could cut it up later if I wanted to do something else with it. I don't let the fact that it's in a book hold me back on any creative ideas that I might have. And I don't worry about if it's a dud. I haven't made this so precious, and I haven't made it like given it a purpose that makes it terrifying to paint these pages. I know you know what I mean. Alright, so I'm just going to tape them off, and I'm going to spritz these with some water. And I also could do some mark making, and I could pull out my crayons, my Neocolor 2 crayons if I wanted to do some mark making with those, because I kind of like this olive, maybe this burnt sienna. Is that what that actually is? This is English red and moss green. That's close enough. And somebody had suggested, you know, in my little tin, maybe I put some cardboard and separate them out into colorways. And I'm like, oh, what a great idea. So I did that and tried to stick the little cardboard pieces in it. Totally did not work. But I did at least separate it out into kind of colorways. So you've got the, you know, blue, green, purple, red, orange, you know, yellow, gray, black, kind of going that way. So I did attempt that. If you're curious, I did. And I think I'm going to go, and this is going to be, you know, lovely large abstracts. And you know what's nice about the Neocolor 2 crayons is they're water soluble, so we might just be working some of these marks into our painting. But the reason I like doing something like marks as we get started is because we've gotten rid of that white page, and you know, hopefully by then we're no longer afraid of the blank page. That's kind of, you know, my purpose on mark making, is eliminating the fear. Here's my 10B. This is my Pit matte graphite, and just going to hold it way out so that I have very little control over what the pencil does. I get more organic marks. I'm not going super dark, but it is a bold pencil, so I could. But I'm kind of, you know, starting the layers here. Far back as I could get it. If you have trouble with control, use your non-dominant hand to mark make if you have to, because there's definitely no control when you're using the hand you don't normally use. And then let's just go for it. I've got my number 0 Raphael Soft Aqua, which is a long time favorite for me. And I'm just going to paint, and the water soluble crayons will activate and blend in a little with the colors and kind of do some interesting stuff, hopefully. And we'll just see where we can go. And this paper is one of my favorite papers, so it's very different than working on like that Cotty paper, which is really strange and buckles and does weird stuff. It's not that same feel. This is a really nice quality cotton paper that does beautiful things with the paint, and it gives you a lot of control over stuff, and I just love this paper. This and the Hahnemühle. I think this is the Canson Heritage. It might be the Hahnemühle, but I don't think it is. This and the Hahnemühle are my very favorite papers, just because they're just lovely to work on. And I don't think they make the Canson Heritage anymore. It's not been able to find it anywhere. But I had some that I bought when I found a bunch on sale. I had bought several pads of it, and so I thought, oh, these would be gorgeous in a book, and then I have lovely paper to work on. Okay, I'm already liking this side better. I feel like I've overdone something over here. Or it could be the paper. I think I like the back side of the paper better than the front side of the paper. Let me scoot that back a tiny bit. Ooh, I love this color palette. I love blues and greens. We've got the touch of the burnt sienna popping out there, but look how gorgeous these colors are together. Oh my goodness. When we're all done, this might be my very favorite book. Whoa, so pretty. And I love working on like multiple different books at a time, because that's what we're doing. You know, I'm working on all kinds of stuff with the different books and the different papers and whatever. And the more we work on stuff and really get things moving and going, the better we get, and the more we like, and the more comfortable we get, you know, working on the different papers and with the different paints, and then we're not afraid of it anymore, and then we just jump right in and we get more bold and more brave as we're going. I love that. So this one, a little different, even though we're still doing abstracts, it's still a little different than some of the other stuff we've been working on. Wow, just throw some of this crazy color in. It does look a little crazy, it's bold, it's something completely different. I love it. Okay, so I really love that right there. Kind of feeling like maybe some stenciling on top, because I did love what happened on this page over here. Wow, I love that so much that I'm feeling like a little stencil work on top would pull that together for me. So, kind of thinking I'm going to let this dry for a bit. Maybe even add some texture in with a little bit of water, because I can already see like a little blooming right here. So maybe I want a little bit of blooming, so I might just tap some water in for texture and pattern and design perhaps. And then we'll let this dry, and then I'll dig through my little stencil stash and see what I want to do, because I loved it on that other layout so much. Alright, so we're going to let this dry and I'll be right back. Alright, let's take a look. This is now dry. And I think I'm inspired by what I did over here with the black. So it's kind of a dark color, but I'm not sure I want to be black over here, because black wasn't really in our color palette, but maybe it was. We'll come back to it. But I'm kind of thinking that I want to do some mark making in maybe the darkest color perhaps, and maybe some gold, which did not intend to do the gold right there. Let's put that back down. And maybe some gold marks. We'll just see. Let's just see where it leads us here. And I might do something different on each piece. We'll see. Oh yeah, I like that. I wish I'd gone off the page with this one. So let's come back over here and get close. There we go. Yes, I do like that. So now I'm kind of thinking maybe come over in the center of this one, and I'm trying to make sure that I've got a really light amount of paint on my sponge so I don't end up with a whole lot of paint smearing out from under the stencil. So I am being real careful stamping some of that paint out there. Oh yeah. Okay, I like that. And I'm kind of thinking could do like the circles, but I'm almost wondering if we wouldn't like this little itty bitty seeds stencil, ATC Artist Traded Card stencils from Joggles, because I love this little stencil. I'm kind of feeling like maybe a bit of gold in this stencil here, perhaps. Oh yeah, that's fun. And I'm using my very favorite Kuretake Gold mica paste because it's the goldiest gold that I got. It's my favorite gold, and I hadn't used it in a while. I've been trying to, you know, branch out and use some other things to give people some options and ideas. But this one is my personal favorite, so I'm gonna go for it on this because I love it. Ooh, I love that. I'm kind of thinking that this might have needed to come down even further over here. Let's pull some more. Ooh, I like that. Maybe a little over here. Oh yeah. Okay, I like that. I don't know if I want to do the same thing over here or something different. I like where the layers are going. This Joggles one was the crosshatch one that I did there. That big one was crosshatches. I'm almost thinking, let me put that down, that I want a little bit of pastel. Yes, you'll have to put spray fixative on that if you use it. And I've got some of these Art Spectrum colors that I never really use because I put them in a drawer and then I forgot I had them. How many of us do that? And I just want to do maybe some mark making, just another little layer in our piece. Kind of like this crazy color here. I don't want to take the paper off. Paper is in a way a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's definitely going to make a mess. I'm definitely going to have to spray this with some of the Sennelier pastel fixative. So if you use any pastels on your pieces, and then I might even still put a piece of wax paper in here. I think of what I'm doing at the same time. I try not to let some of the fears of what that material could do later. I try not to let those fears get in the way of where I want to go or what I'm inspired, or maybe I want to color in there or something, or maybe it totally was terrible what I did. But I try not to let the fear of a material get in the way of what I want to do. And then you do not blow any powders. So usually what I do here is I will take a paper towel or a shop towel or whatever I've got handy, and make sure I get all this off my fingers with my cloth, and then I will actually squirt this down with water because that'll catch the powder, and then tap the powder. Don't blow the powder. If you blow it, you're going to contaminate all your surfaces. So do not blow powder. Put them in a wet paper towel, and then you can put that to the side and keep using it, or you can use it later. You can get rid of it if you need to. Kind of feel like we need something else. Maybe some Posca dots. Oh yeah, I'm feeling Posca dots. Let's see. All right, so. Oh, I like the dots. The dots are good. You can't go over the dots right where you just did powder though, so be careful with that. You don't want to get all that powder into the nib of your Posca pen. Just throwing that observation out there since that's what I'm near. That's kind of fun. What if we did more of a burgundy, like pulling out that kind of reddish tone. What a good color. Oh my gosh, it kind of glows in there with that red, with that gold. Ooh, I like that. That was a fun choice. Let's do it over here. Ooh, okay, that's fun. Okay, I'm loving where this is sitting right now. Don't know that there's anything else that I need to do with this at the moment. I feel pretty good about where we're sitting. I could do more stencil work, and I could just wait and come back some other time and take a second look at it, but I'm feeling pretty good about where I am, so I think I'm going to peel the tape and then we can see where we're at. And I did paint myself a little set of colors like I did on that other piece, because I do kind of like being able to refer back to that and see like what I did. So I made myself one of these for this, and now that it's dry, I'll go back and write what those colors were on there. I love to peel the tape because then we get to the aha moment. And even on this set of layouts, I almost like the paper better from the back side. Isn't that interesting? Look at that. Now we're complete. Look how pretty that is. And how good did we do versus our inspiration page? I think we did pretty darn good, actually. That was page 54 in that Color Flow by Ivy Newport Volume 1, which may or may not still be available. These are books that she made and sells on her own website. And they're definitely a little more expensive than the color cubes, but I do like some of the color ranges, and because I have them, I would like to play in them also. And that's a pretty set of colors, so I think we did pretty good and had fun today. So I hope you enjoyed painting today. I can't wait to see what you're creating. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.